What if I told you the most dangerous weapon in World War II wasn't made of steel?
It was made of air. They carried no bullets. They fired no guns. But they were about to fool the entire German Empire. 1944. The Nazis are crushing Europe. The Allied forces are outnumbered. They need a miracle.
Real tanks are heavy. Real tanks are slow. And we didn't have enough of them. So the Army created a top-secret unit, the 23rd Headquarters Special Troops. Their mission? To build an army in minutes. An army of ghosts.
They didn't just look real. They sounded real. 500-pound speakers blasting recorded war noises.
They flooded the radio waves with fake orders, creating entire divisions out of thin air.
It was working perfectly, until a German scout plane spotted something. Impossible.
One flinch, one loose strap flapping in the wind, and the game is over.
But from 5,000 feet up, the deception was flawless. The pilot radioed back. Massive American force spotted!
It worked. The Nazis turned their panzer divisions toward the Ghost Army, leaving the real Allied flank wide open.
Under the cover of darkness, they performed a magic trick. They moved an entire armored division by hand.
These weren't regular soldiers. They were artists from New York and Philadelphia. Their brushstrokes were their bullets.
But the technology was fragile. A hot day could burst a seam. A cold night could make a tank go limp.
Then, the worst-case scenario happened. The Germans didn't just watch. They decided to attack. The Ghost Army had .50 caliber machine guns, made of wood. They were sitting ducks. But when the smoke cleared, the destroyed tank didn't burn. It just deflated.
Enemy tanks are fake! Repeat, F-A-K-E!
But back at headquarters, the Nazi high command hesitated. They thought it was a trap. Confusion is a weapon. For one critical hour, the German army froze, and the Ghost Army bought time. If the Germans wanted a fight, they would hear one. They blasted the sound of bridge-building layers.
The sonic waves were so powerful, they shook the leaves off the trees 3 miles away.
While the Nazis chased the noise in the east, the real Allied tanks slipped quietly to the west.
It was the perfect crime. The Germans were shelling an empty field. The Americans were playing poker.
But arrogance is dangerous. Just as they felt safe, a flare lit up the night.
This wasn't a scout. This was the SS Panzer Division. And this time, they weren't aiming at the balloons. 100 yards. The kill zone. If they ran, they would be cut down. So they did the unthinkable.
They didn't fire a gun. They pressed play.
A sonic boom hit the German tank. The sound of an entire armored battalion opening fire.
Inside the steel beast, panic! The German commander heard the shots, but saw no flash. He thought he was blind.
He assumed it was a trap, a hidden anti-tank nest. The Tiger reversed and ran. But their luck was about to run out. The enemy wasn't the only threat. Nature was waking up.
That night, the worst storm of the year hit the valley. 60-mile-per-hour winds.
A 30-ton tank stays on the ground. A 30-pound balloon wants to fly. Then, disaster. The ropes snapped. They had to shoot it down. If the Germans saw a tank floating like a feather, the secret was out.
A German sentry looked up. He saw a shadow fall from the heavens. A tank,
diving. Tracers tore through the sky. 1,000 bullets chasing a rubber ghost.
But visual deception wasn't just about tanks. They needed to fake an invasion force on the roads.
The infinite loop. 2 trucks driving in a circle for 6 hours straight.
The German spy counted 100 trucks, 500 trucks, 1,000 trucks. He thought an entire army was moving in.
Inside the trucks, pure theater. They changed helmets, they changed jackets. Same men, different army.
It was all fun and games. Until the phone rang. A gap had opened in the Allied line.
The order was simple. Hold the bridge. But this time, they had no real tanks to back them up.
The fog was their only armor. If it lifted, they were dead. So they prayed for bad weather. The Germans had the firepower to cross in 5 minutes. But they hesitated. Why?
Because the Ghost Army was preparing a light show. They wired flashbulbs to the fake barrels.
Then, the speakers kicked in. The sound of 100 Sherman engines roaring to life at once.
Flash.
Boom! Flash! Boom! Boom!
To the Germans, it looked like the entire US Army was opening fire.
They dove into the mud, waiting for impacts that never came. Their minds filled in the blanks.
It was a psychological wall. The Nazis were stopped cold by light bulbs and loudspeakers.
They held the bridge for 12 hours.
But every magic trick has a time limit.
Dawn. The sun began to burn off the fog. The Ghost Army's cover was evaporating.
A German sniper looked through his scope. He saw the tank's barrel swaying in the breeze. And he smiled.
The shot rang out. No metal clang, just the hiss of escaping air. German radio exploded! They are fakes! Crush them! All units! AD Vance! Like a dam breaking, the Nazi war machine flooded across the bridge. Nothing stood in their way.
The artists didn't fight back. They ran. They had to lure the enemy deep into the trap.
Steel met rubber. The Tiger tanks crushed the decoys effortlessly. It was a massacre of balloons.
The Germans laughed. They slashed the tents. They kicked the cannons. They thought they had won.
But they made one fatal mistake. They bunched up, and they were standing exactly where the Americans wanted them. The German commander stood in the center of the fake camp. He paused. It was too quiet. The ground shook. This time, the explosions didn't come from a speaker. It was total chaos. Rubber melted next to burning steel. The illusion had become a graveyard.
The mighty Panzer Division broke. They didn't know who to fight. They ran from shadows.
Hundreds surrendered. They threw down their weapons in front of American tanks.
One prisoner leaned against his captor's tank. It didn't feel cold. It felt soft.
He looked up. The men capturing him weren't holding machine guns. They were holding paintbrushes.
From France to the Rhine, 20 times they set the stage. 20 times they fooled Hitler.
They saved an estimated 30,000 American lives. But there were no medals awaiting them.
Because the war was over. But the secret had to stay buried.
The Pentagon ordered complete silence. For 50 years, their mission was classified.
They went home to their wives and lied. They said they blew up tanks. They couldn't say. They inflated them.
They went back to their art,
Some became famous fashion designers like Bill Blass, designing dresses instead of decoys.
But in their sketchbooks, the lines between beauty and war were always blurred.
Decades passed. The secret gathered dust. Until 1996, the Pentagon finally unlocked the vault.
The headlines shocked the world. The greatest illusion in military history wasn't a rumor. It was real.
The old men wept. For 50 years, their own children didn't know they were heroes.
But the story didn't end there. The Ghost Army didn't die. It evolved. The tools have changed, but the mission is the same. Make the enemy believe a lie.
We can now project entire armies into the sky with light. We can fake voices with AI.
The Ghost Army is no longer on the battlefield. It is on your phone. And this time,
Back then, the deception had a face. It was painted by hand. It was flawed. It was human.
They never fired a lethal shot, yet they were responsible for saving 30,000 boys from coming home in boxes.
They proved that in war, creativity is just as deadly as ammunition.
But today, the battlefield is in your pocket. The Ghost Army isn't gone. It's online.
We are bombarded, not by sonic speakers, but by algorithms, designed to confuse.
The old soldier has one final warning for us. A lesson from 1944.
In a world of fake tanks and fake news, the truth is the only thing worth fighting for.
Because if you don't look closely, you might just be fighting a ghost.
1,100 men, artists, actors, engineers. They were the most unique unit in the history of warfare.
They wore the phoenix on their shoulder, a bird born from fire, a symbol of rising from nothing.
They didn't kill to win. They lied to save. And 30,000 soldiers came home because of their lies. To the world, they were ghosts. The war is over. But the art of deception never ended. It just changed the canvas.
History is filled with secrets. If you want to uncover the next one, join the ranks, subscribe.
Hit that button, or the enemy wins. This is War Chronicles. Over and out.